Empire Broadcasting presents the Professionals Roundtable, 9 to 2 p.m. Hear what's hot in the professional world. Timely topics to propel your career to the next level. Professionals Roundtable, 9 to 2 p.m. exclusively on Empire Broadcasting.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, folks. Welcome to Empire Broadcasting. I'm your host, Dylan Horan, and right now at the roundtable, I have another terrific guest. She is an award-winning author and a mindfulness teacher. Please welcome to show everybody, Miss Janet Alston Jackson. Janet, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Dylan. It's a pleasure to be on.
It's a pleasure to have you on. So please, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do?
I give mindfulness trainings to companies and organizations and schools and actually different types of organizations, from law enforcement to the Boeing Airlines to healthcare workers. So it's a different variety, and I've trained with my husband for about 20 years on that, and so now I'm exclusively doing the mindfulness training, because it's so important today with people are stressed out and so busy and compensating for so many things that trying to keep up with the pace and trying to keep up with their children as well. And that's another thing. For many years we've given trainings for parents and teachers and schools as well as their children.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, what inspired you to go down this career path? Were you always interested in this? Did this come later in life? What's your inspiration?
Well, it was interesting for, ever since I was out of college a zillion years ago, I was doing mindfulness, meditations, and I was always interested in that. But when I got into the entertainment industry, I was a publicist for ABC and CBS television for almost 20 years. And the pace in television, as you know, being in the media, is just extraordinary. And I traveled a lot and was raising, 3 children, and I needed something immediately to give me some type of relief and stress right away. And where I found meditations was so wonderful, I could not access it, in the moment when I'm under pressure and under stress and things are chaotic. And so one day I went to a bookstore and I was looking for something to help me to deal with this. And a book fell off the bookshelf, and it was Thich Nhat Hanh's book, The Miracle of Mindfulness, and he's a international Zen master. And through that, I started with his book, and then went to his retreats, and then got certified through him and his organization, and been after it ever since. Because the thing is, Dylan, is that people need to find something quick relief, and right now, drugs and everything else is. Alcoholism is up in our society, but then you have that secondary problem after you try to medicate yourself with these different things. How do you deal with it? Now you have compounded problems. So that's how I started mindfulness. But then what really, really set me on the path is we have 3 wonderful children, and 2 of them are adopted. One had emotional problems because he was abused physically and sexually when he was in foster care. And so he is extremely smart, and we adopted him at the age of 3, but having to go through different therapists to help him, and we couldn't find help for this child. It ended up, over the years, almost 15 years, we went through so many problems with him. We needed mindfulness to help us deal with the emotional problems, the stress it was creating on our family, and not only dealing with him in the schools. And so we were able to find him help. And now he went into the Marines and came out, and he's just a productive citizen, and we couldn't be prouder of him. But it was because of mindfulness helped us to deal with fear and the anger and the frustration right in the moment when things were happening. So this is what the difference is of meditation and mindfulness is. That people think that you have to go up on a mountain and be quiet. But mindfulness, if you're driving your car, you can deal with mindfulness. Athletes deal with it all the time. They may unwittingly or wittingly do it. There's been tests with police officers who, when they're answering a call, when they're trained in mindfulness, they can lower their blood pressure. They can deal effective with traumatic incidents immediately. So that's why we're just so passionate about teaching this and spreading this information to as many people as possible.
Now, please, as I've already mentioned, you're an award-winning author. Tell us a little bit about your books. I've heard you have a new one that's coming to fine bookstores everywhere soon.
Yeah, thanks, Dylan, for mentioning that. Yeah, the book was A Cry for Light, A Journey into Love, and that was our path leading to mindfulness, and that was the award winner. The new one that's coming out Monday, it should be by Monday, it's called Mindfulness Meditations Journal with easy practices of teaching of mindfulness exercises. And the reason the journal is coming out is because mindfulness is easy. You can learn it in a few minutes, just a couple of exercises. But the problem is if you don't practice it, you lose that. It's like, like a muscle. You have to keep using it. The more you use it, the easier it becomes, so that you can be in the middle of an argument with somebody, and all of a sudden you can reverse that energy, that anger, and calm down. And when you're calm and you're dealing with someone else who's erratic, that person calms down as well. You can do it while you're walking, while you're exercising, cooking, everything. You can, anything you do, rather, you can use mindfulness in. It's so accessible, and it starts with our breath. That's our stress releaser that we don't use, and we don't think things are assessed. We don't realize that we can calm ourselves down in the moment just by being aware of the inhaling and the exhaling of our breath.
Of course. Now, what's the most rewarding thing about your job?
Is seeing people light up from, wow, I didn't know I had that right inside of me. I don't have to go to someone, for this or for that. Once they learn the techniques and practice it, they can use it constantly and see people, reverse times of trouble that they were going through. So it reduces stress and depression and anxiety. It helps you release from fears and worries. And so when we do the trainings, and you can see people automatically say, oh, gosh, I had this crook in my neck, I had this pain, and all of a sudden it's left. And that's another point, because now mindfulness is mainstream. When I started teaching this in 1996, we had a nonprofit, and we were teaching it to parents and children. No one really knew about it, but now it's mainstream. It's in hospitals and clinics. It's in the military. Athletes use it. It's all over, not only around the world, but especially right here in the United States. And it's not a religion, so anybody with any type of religious background can use it, and because it's more of a technique. It also lowers your blood pressure and improves your sleep. And just a short little story, I broke my leg a couple of years ago, and it was a femur bone, which is the biggest bone in your body. It was one of those what they call banana peel slips. And so I broke it in two places, and my surgeon came in and said, I don't think I can line it up. And my fears were I would not be able to walk properly again. I'd be on the crutches. But I was able to use mindfulness because I was in such pain. They had me on 3 or 4 different pain medications. But I kept releasing the fears in my mind, because there's such a thing is pain, first pain, which you feel immediately. Then there's secondary pain, which we cause from our emotion and our fears. So when we have something happen to us, the pain itself is not as traumatic as what we put on it. And for me at that time, I was going through these fears. So I had to use mindfulness to release that stress and release that fear.
Exactly.
And to be in the moment with that pain, which actually dissolves itself. In fact, some doctors say it's more effective than morphine. And these are clinical studies. You can go online and see how studies all over are being done, scientific studies. John Kabat-Zinn has done a tremendous amount of work in this, being used in his clinic.
Absolutely, so much work. And Janet, you've been a fantastic guest. Thank you so much for coming on the program today.
Well, thank you, Dylan, for having me. God bless.
Thank you. You as well. You as well. If any of you folks would like to know more about the fantastic work that Janet does or her books, feel free to check out her website, janetajackson.com. This is Empire Broadcasting, folks. We'll be right back after these messages.
Empire Broadcasting presents the Professionals Roundtable, 9 to 2 p.m. Hear what's hot in the professional world. Timely topics to propel your career to the next level. Professionals Roundtable, 9 to 2 p.m. exclusively on Empire Broadcasting.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge?
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man-to-man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! It's now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.